Hey, this is Zero at AngryGameplayHD, and some of you may have seen my reviews on my ReviewZoneHD YouTube channel, but I decided to post this review here on this channel because I did the full walkthrough over here, and this has got to be the fastest that I've ever played through a game. As I'm writing this review, the game released 15 hours ago, and I got a full night of sleep since it hit the store shelves, and I've already managed to play through the entire game and half of the arena challenges. Now, from looking at the timestamps on each one of the videos that I've uploaded, which is for these 6 stages and the final boss battle, the total time I spent playing through the main game is only 2 hours. For a $40 budget title, that's pretty rough. Now granted, there are 7 arena challenges. I only completed 3 of those. It took about 10 minutes for each one, so that's going to add another hour to the time spent playing. But the long story short here is you're not going to get a whole lot of content out of this game if you do decide to pick it up. There are collectibles or upgrade tokens that you can go after, which will extend the game time a little bit. I missed some of those as I was playing through, but once you complete this game, unless you want the trophies, there's really not much reason to play through it a second time because nothing is going to change about the gameplay. There's not awesome boss battles at the end of each stage, so that was kind of a bummer as well. And while it may seem like I started this review out on a very negative tone, I'm pretty much just stating the obvious about what you're going to get if you do purchase this game. Now, with all that out of the way, I will say I did enjoy my time spent with this game, but it's not one that I'd want to play through again, and I'm also happy that they did not extend it out much longer than 2 hours because it did start to get a little repetitive towards the end. You would think with a 2-hour game it would be pretty easy to make every stage completely different with a good variety of new enemies for every new stage, but that's just not the case, which is another disappointing factor with this game. From a technical standpoint, the game also has a few noticeable issues with the controls and the way that it's set up. You can also tell that it could have used just a little bit more polish. There were times that I got stuck inside of the stage, I saw the enemy get stuck inside the stage. Half of each stage is spent running through these long hallways, and you have to switch between characters to avoid certain obstacles, such as switching to a heavy character to ram through a wall or to the light character to jump over a gap. And when it works, it's actually pretty fun. But the problem is sometimes the game will put you into a corner, or it'll begin a section and just throw you straight into an obstacle before you can make any type of adjustment, no matter how fast you are. And there was also several sections that there were different obstacles that were just too close to one another, and it won't allow you to switch fast enough to dodge all of them. Now, the combat and the controls for combat are both a little wonky as well. It's mechanical, it's not very fluid. And to top it off, sometimes it's hard to tell if your attacks are even doing damage because the animations for the hit detection are also a bit hit and miss. Sometimes you can tell that they're connecting and sometimes you can't. So you might be asking yourself, with everything that I just said, how is it possible that I enjoyed this game? Well, the button mashing combat can be fun at times. It sort of reminds me of the really old school button mashing beat 'em up games like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle games or the Simpsons arcade game. Unlocking the new characters and upgrading them by finding tokens, that was kind of fun. And everything was just straight to the point. The game loaded up quickly, so the entire focus was on fast gameplay and not cutscenes or long storylines. But in the end, I can't really recommend this for a day one purchase, even if you are a BenTEN fan. But once it hits the $15 price range, if you're a trophy hunter, or if you can find it as a rental, then you may have some fun with it and it might be worth picking it up at that point. Just don't expect to play it longer than a few days. I know this wasn't a very long review, but this isn't a very long game, so there's really just not much else to say about it. Anyways, this is Zero at AngryGameplayHD, and as always, thanks for stopping by.